Hey everyone, welcome to SA Daily Insight. I'm Peter, and today we're diving into a story that's shaking the foundations of law enforcement and politics in South Africa. This isn't just your usual headline, it's a tale of power, betrayal, and a criminal who may hold the keys to exposing one of the country's most powerful figures. So grab your coffee, sit back, and let's unpack this. We start with a man you've probably heard whispered about in the shadows of South Africa's underworld. Vusimuzi Cat Matlala. Yes, Cat Matlala, the same name that makes even seasoned investigators pause. He is not just a street-level gangster. He's a calculated operator, a man whose presence in any room is both feared and measured. Now here's where it gets explosive. Cat Matlala has made a threat that could topple political and law enforcement power structures. He's claiming that if he goes down, he won't go down alone. And the person in his crosshairs? None other than the former Minister of Police, Bheki Cele. That's right. A top criminal is saying that he holds information that could implicate a former top government official in serious wrongdoing. And this isn't idle chatter. Matlala is speaking from a position of desperation, but also from a position of knowledge. Let's rewind to 2019. The story centers around a Durban Harbor cocaine shipment, a container arriving straight from South America with drugs worth millions of rand. According to advocate Tefo, who laid out the details of the case, this shipment was supposed to be handled according to official protocol. It was meant to be logged, secured, and processed by the correct units. But something unusual happened.
I'll give this scenario now. There was a war between the Minister of Police and the National Commissioner of Police before the current one. Yeah. So let me talk about the version. Let me give you the scenario of that before the name can be attached, if they are going to be attached. Okay. So it was in 2019. The cargo was intercepted at the port of entry in Durban. This cargo was from South America. So there's a container that had the drugs. See? So now, having been intercepted, interception, I mean, the police busted it. Yeah. And then it was among the things that had to be offloaded in Durban Harbor. So now that cargo, it now happened to be known, it was reported now to the minister, to the National Commission. So it started the type of war. But now the minister and the National Commissioner started to fight over the cargo, the position of the cargo, the drugs. You see? So minister knew first, and minister sent his people to go and take the cargo and put it somewhere else. You see? And then the National Commissioner knew that minister sent his people to go and take the cargo, they put it somewhere. And then minister wanted National Commissioner, no, about that. Started to, hey, Mister, why did you do that? You are not responsible for the operation. I am responsible for the operation as the National Commissioner. Yeah. So you are responsible for the policies. You see? What? The cargos and everything, you are not supposed to interfere in that. Now that one is no, you can go to hell. You should not take it. I'm also responsible for the crime combating as well. You see? And we know that minister, you will hardly find him in the parliament. He's always in the street. You see? So now, the National Commissioner, get these people, they find the cargo. He took it from there.
Fuck me. Wait. Okay. I need to understand something.
Yeah? Yeah. They take it, they don't want the National Commission to have access to it.
Yes, so they stored the cargo for it to be used as evidence or by Kwaka?
No, by Kwaka. Yes. By Kwaka. Minister, you are yeah. And then
it's like a movie. Marcos.
Yes. And then the National Commissioner.
Yes.
Then got his own people, because among those people who were being that, I can say we are five, I'm McGee's man, but some of the things that McGee is doing, I don't like this. We find I'm a double agent.
Yeah.
You see, I'll come and tell you, hey, where is the cargo? Yeah, but don't say it's me. You see, okay, no, get your people, everyone, then.
So National Commission now has the
get his own people.
Yeah, to get the package.
Then they find the cargo.
So by Quag.
They remove the cargo.
Yeah.
From where minister's men put it, and where minister knows it is, where it's stored. They took it to their own place.
Slow down.
Are you not following?
No. I'm trying to when or when they take it or when they confiscate it, right? Is it a police, like is it a legal operation, or you're not supposed to be
illegal, bro?
It's legal.
This is only legal.
Yeah.
This is only legal. Are you not following?
No, I am, because I'm trying to make.
Instead of leaving it to procedure, the former Minister of Police allegedly intervened. He is said to have sent in his own trusted men, individuals who were half police, half underworld, to secure and move the container. And here's where Cat Matlala's name comes in. Reports suggest he may have been directly involved, using his extensive network of trucks, safe houses, and loyal men to move this shipment. Imagine the logistics: trucks arriving at the port at night, unmarked, but with the right paperwork to satisfy anyone who asks. Convoy cars follow behind with their lights off, and within hours, a multi-million rand shipment is moved out of sight, destined to be repackaged and distributed across the country. It's not just criminal ingenuity. It's organized, meticulous planning, with political power directly influencing the operation. Now, I want you to picture the system Matlala was operating in. You see, South Africans have long joked that when the police seize drugs, half of it never reaches the evidence room. But what sounds like a joke is actually a well-oiled system of theft and corruption. Let me break it down for you. Step 1. The bust. This is the public show. The police love these moments. Flashing blue lights, large stacks of seized drugs, smiling officers in press conferences. But behind the cameras, the real cargo is already shrinking. 5 tons in the media, maybe 4.5 tons actually exist in the evidence system. Excuses abound: moisture, rats, packaging. But in reality, a portion has already been siphoned off. Step 2. Transport. These drugs don't teleport to the evidence room. They travel in trucks or vans, usually guarded. But if the vehicle detours slightly, no one asks questions. We stopped for fuel, they might say. We had to reroute for safety. And during that detour, a box disappears, quietly, systematically, with no public record. Step 3. The evidence room. You might imagine a secure vault, a modern Fort Knox. But in reality, often just a single locked room, one key holder, and a CCTV camera that conveniently fails during late-night hours. A few officers access the room, reseal packages, and help themselves quietly. Step 4. The lab. Here's the clever part. Labs don't test every single gram of cocaine. They test a sample. So, what if the pure cocaine gets swapped with diluted product before testing? The lab declares it verified, while the high-purity product is already back on the streets, repackaged and sold. Step 5. Destruction Day. The big show for the media. Drugs are burned on camera. Everyone claps. But by then, the real product is long gone. What gets destroyed is filler or cut powder, carefully staged for public optics. Now, why does all this matter? Because if Matlala was involved, he doesn't just know rumors, he knows details. He knows which truck rolled first, which safe house was used, which men handled the cargo, and who got paid. And that's the power he's wielding in his threat against Cele. This isn't idle gossip. It's actionable information, a detailed playbook that could be verified by reporters and investigators alike. Let's talk about the risk to Bheki Cele. He was already scheduled to testify in Parliament about police corruption. Imagine walking into a political firing squad while someone like Cat Matlala holds your past actions in his hands. MPs aren't going to ask polite questions anymore. They'll want specifics. And opposition parties will pounce. They'll quote Matlala directly, demand accountability, and question every decision Cele made during his tenure. Even denials won't wash away suspicion once the words minister and cocaine are linked in the public mind. And the fallout isn't just political. The international implications are serious. Durban isn't just a local port. It's a global hub. Agencies like the DEA, Interpol, and Europol have long monitored the port. If an insider confirms political interference in a multi-million rand cocaine shipment, pressure will mount on South Africa to answer questions and prove control over its trade routes. Trade inspections, international scrutiny, reputational damage. This could cost billions and shake confidence in one of Africa's busiest ports. And there's more. Public trust in the police is already fragile. The notion that half of the drugs never make it to evidence is already widespread. If Matlala exposes verified details, communities may start to see the SAPS as just another criminal cartel. Vigilante justice could rise, informal militias could grow, and honest officers could become isolated or demoralized. Criminal syndicates would thrive, knowing that the system itself is compromised. The bigger picture? This isn't just about Cele or a single shipment. If Matlala goes public with hard truths, it could reveal systemic collusion between the state and organized crime. The legitimacy of law enforcement could collapse. Citizens may stop cooperating with police, crime may spike, and a vacuum of authority could form. When the state is seen as part of the problem, communities feel compelled to protect themselves. That's a chain reaction that spirals fast, and history shows it rarely ends cleanly. So, as dangerous as Cat Matlala is, in this scenario, his desperation gives him power. Truth, when wrapped in verifiable detail, is scarier than bullets. And for the police, the implications are massive. A single insider threatening to expose the mechanics of corruption at the highest levels is a nightmare scenario. Now, here's where the story transitions. While Cat Matlala's threat looms over the political and criminal landscape, another figure in South Africa's police system has faced the law in a very different way. General Shadrack Sibiya, once a prominent figure in SAPS, recently had his court battle dismissed with costs. And though the circumstances are different, the underlying theme is strikingly similar: power, accountability, and the consequences of disobedience within South Africa's law enforcement system. Shadrack had been trying to use the courts to regain his position and force General Mkhwanazi to retract statements that had damaged his reputation. He also sought to challenge the lawfulness of his special leave and halt disciplinary processes until the Judicial Commission of Inquiry could conclude its work. Essentially, he wanted the legal system to protect him from both political fallout and internal police scrutiny. But the courts didn't see it that way. The ruling was clear. Special leave, when issued by a senior officer, is lawful. The Judicial Commission doesn't prevent parallel disciplinary action. Shadrack had no legal right to stop the processes. His claims were dismissed, and he was ordered to pay costs. In short, Shadrack's attempts to manipulate the system failed. The background context is important. While the SAPS commissioner was on leave, Police Minister Senzo Mchunu ordered the disbandment of a task team, a move viewed by some as questionable. Shadrack, however, disobeyed instructions and tried to recall contentious dockets, issuing directives in January, February, and April 2025 against orders. His deliberate disobedience was a key factor in the court's rejection of his claims. For you, the viewer, the takeaway is this: the stories we see on the news are only the tip of the iceberg. Behind every scandal, every court case, there are layers of politics, power, and human decisions. The Cat Matlala saga is not just about a gangster or a minister, it's about the fragile balance of trust in our institutions. So, what do you think? Could a man like Cat Matlala really bring down a former minister? And what does Shadrack's loss teach us about accountability in the police? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. That's it for today's deep dive here on SA Daily Insight. I'm Peter, and if you found this story as shocking and eye-opening as I did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We'll continue exploring the stories that affect the heart of South Africa, from politics to crime to the fight for truth. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe, stay informed, and remember, knowledge is power.